All right, let's talk about selling beauty products online. You might think it's like any other e-commerce game, but it's really not. It's a whole different world, and getting found on Google, it takes a completely different strategy. We're talking about a playbook built on science, stunning visuals, and, most importantly, trust. So let's dive right in. Okay, first things first, we've got to get inside the head of today's beauty shopper. And let me tell you, this person is an expert. They're not just casually browsing anymore. Oh no, they're like an ingredient detective, armed with a ton of research about exactly what they want and don't want to put on their skin. They're looking for brands that can actually speak their language, the language of science. And this is the huge shift we're seeing. I mean, think about it. Maybe 10 years ago, you just type face cream into Google. But today, people are searching for things like hyaluronic acid moisturizer or a 10% niacinamide serum for my hyperpigmentation. It's this ingredient-first approach that completely flips the script on how a beauty brand needs to show up online. So that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do you win their click? And more importantly, how do you win their trust? It's really a two-part puzzle. First, you've got to actually rank for these super specific searches. And second, the moment they land on your page, you have to prove you're the real deal, a credible, trustworthy source. And that's exactly what we're going to unpack right now. Right? So you can't just apply the old SEO playbook here. It just doesn't work. Why? Because the beauty industry plays by a completely different set of rules. It's this unique world where it's all about ingredients, amazing visuals, and building a ton of trust. And this table just lays it all out so perfectly. Look at the difference. In general retail, you're searching for like a model number or a brand, but in beauty, you're searching for an ingredient to solve a problem, right? And the content, it's not about boring specs, it's about seeing the texture, the swatches, the results. And trust signals, forget a simple warranty. In beauty, it's all about real user reviews, social proof, and that scientific backing we talked about. And wow, this chart really drives the point home. A 250% increase in ingredient-based searches in just 4 years. That's massive. This isn't just some passing trend, people. This is a fundamental change in how people shop for beauty. They're educated, they're savvy, and they demand to know what's in their products. So if your website isn't optimized for these kinds of searches, you're basically invisible to your best potential customers. And this is so crucial to understand. Trust is literally a ranking factor for Google. You know all that user-generated content, like reviews and customer photos? That stuff is gold. It's not just for other shoppers. Every time a customer posts a real review, they're creating authentic content that tells search engines, hey, this brand is legit and trustworthy. It's social proof that directly boosts your visibility. It's a win-win. Okay, so now that we know why beauty SEO is different, let's talk about how to win. The key is to capture shoppers way at the beginning of their journey, often before they've even heard of your brand. The best strategy isn't about pushing a product, it's about solving a problem. And that, my friends, is where content marketing becomes your absolute superpower. So let me walk you through how this actually plays out. Imagine someone is searching for something like how to treat hormonal acne. They're not looking for your brand specifically, right? They're looking for an answer. But then they find your amazing blog post that explains the science behind it and offers real solutions. You've just helped them. You've built trust. And then naturally, within that helpful article, you introduce your product as a perfect solution. See, it's helpful, not a hard sell. And we're not talking about just any old blog post. This has to be seriously authoritative content. I'm talking in-depth ingredient guides, articles that tackle specific skin concerns, routine examples, the whole shebang. You're building what Google calls EEAT. That's expertise, experience, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. It's not enough to just say what's in your product. You have to show your experience with real photos of the texture. You have to prove your expertise by linking to scientific studies. This is how you become a trusted source, not just another seller. Okay, so you've done the hard work. You've created amazing content, and you've brought a curious shopper to your site. Great. Now what? Well, now they've arrived at your digital shelf, your product page. And this is where you have to turn that interest into an actual sale. It's a conversion engine. And honestly, the little details make all the difference here. Let's be real. In beauty, visuals are everything. Your customers can't touch the product, they can't feel the texture, they can't swatch it on their arm. So your photos have to do all of that heavy lifting. And shoppers have come to expect a standard set of images. We're talking clean packaging shots, of course, but also close-ups of the texture, swatches on a range of different skin tones. That's non-negotiable now. And of course, those authentic before and afters, that's the ultimate proof that your product actually works. And here's something you absolutely cannot forget. More than 80% of your traffic is probably coming from a phone. Just think about that. That means all those beautiful, high-quality images need to be swipeable and crystal clear on a small screen. If someone can't zoom in on a texture shot or see a swatch properly on their phone, poof, you've probably lost that sale. Okay, here is a super important, super actionable tip for your product descriptions. You have to lead with the main benefit and the key ingredients right in the first 50 words. Why? Because that first bit is what Google loves to grab for its search results, and it's what a customer skims to see if they should even keep reading. You need to immediately answer, what does this do and what's in it? Get straight to the point, like this niacinamide serum fades dark spots and even skin tone. Boom, done. All right, it's time to look under the hood. Let's talk technical SEO. Because honestly, you can have the best content and the most gorgeous images on the planet, but if your site is slow, clunky, or just plain confusing for Google, none of it matters. These technical details are the absolute foundation of a successful beauty website. You've probably heard the term core web vitals. It sounds super technical and scary, but all it really is Google's way of measuring how good the experience is on your page. Basically, how fast does it load? Can people click on things right away? And does the page jump all over the place while it's loading? For beauty sites, which are packed with high-res images, getting this right is tough, but it's absolutely crucial for keeping your visitors and Google happy. And if you need a reason why this matters so much, just look at this chart. It's a straight line down. The longer your page takes to load, the more your conversion rate absolutely tanks. We're talking every single second counts. A fast site just feels professional and trustworthy. A slow one feels cheap and frustrating, and it will kill a sale before your customer even gets to see how great your product is. Okay, let me give you a pro tip because this is a really common mistake I see all the time with beauty brands. Let's say you have a foundation that comes in 40 shades. You should absolutely not have 40 separate product pages. If you do that, you're splitting your SEO power 40 ways. No, the right way to do it is to have one single powerful page for that foundation and then just use a drop-down menu to select the shade. That way, all your reviews, all your authority, all that SEO juice gets consolidated into one powerhouse page. So, last but not least, how do you even know if all this hard work is paying off? You've got to measure the right things. It's so easy to get obsessed with vanity metrics like just getting more traffic, but that's not the goal. The goal is getting the right traffic that actually buys stuff. So let's talk about the KPIs, the key performance indicators that truly matter. This table really helps cut through all the noise. Instead of looking at a million different things, focus on these. First, organic revenue. Simple. Are you making more money from people who find you on Google? Next, organic conversion rate. Of the people coming from search, are they actually buying? That tells you about traffic quality. Then there's average order value. Are you attracting customers who buy one thing, or are they educated shoppers buying a whole routine? And finally, featured snippet ownership. Are you the one Google is using to answer people's questions? That's a huge sign of authority. These are the numbers that tell the real story. You know, at the end of the day, having an incredible product is really only half the battle. To win in this incredibly crowded market, your website has to be just as amazing, just as thoughtfully formulated as your actual products. So yeah, your products are ready for the spotlight. The real question is your website?